Guys, the Las Vegas Aces are looking a whole lot lighter after some of these trades and free agency signings that have happened. And guys, it's leaving the bench to look a little sparse.
Breaking news, the Las Vegas Aces have lost half their team, 2 top assistant coaches, and their GM all in the same offseason. If that's not a red flag, I don't know what is. The Las Vegas Aces, the team that revitalized the modern-day super team in the WNBA. They went from dominating the league, is now the team that did not live up to expectations this year, and is a team that's one by one falling apart in front of our own very eyes. But wait, there's more. Add in a pending lawsuit and rumors of under-the-table deals, and you've got yourself a full-blown implosion. So what's behind this mass team exit, and what's driving Aya Wilson to tears? Looks like what happens in Vegas doesn't always stay in Vegas, especially when it comes to team drama. Are you ready? Let's go. You know what they say about karma? Well, it seems like it's coming back to bite the Las Vegas Aces in a big way. Remember, when they were on top of the world, back-to-back champs with a roster that seemed unbeatable, those days are looking more and more like a distant memory. Let's rewind for a second. The Aces were riding high, their swagger on full display. Aya Wilson and Becky Hammond were practically untouchable, or so they thought, but then came that semifinals loss to the New York Liberty. And suddenly the cracks started to show. We have to get better. We have to really take a sharp look at ourselves, look ourselves in the mirror, see our shortcomings. And then, you got to make the moves necessary, whatever that means, to put the best product that we possibly can. It's not going to be the same group probably next year. It just won't. And I'm sad about that because I really like that group. They're a pain in my ass, but I was a pain in their ass too. Now, Coach Hammond's words after that loss are starting to sound less like confidence and more like a warning. She said the team wouldn't be the same in 2025. At the time, we all thought she meant they'd come back stronger. Turns out she might have been predicting a total meltdown. Well, I mean, Becky Hammond, you were right. Congratulations. But did you really think it would be this different roster? The first domino to fall, Kate Martin, the fan favorite and spark plug, was left unprotected in the expansion draft. And before you could say what were they thinking, the Golden State Valkyries snatched her up. It's like the Aces gift wrapped one of their most promising young players and handed her to a rival. I'm really excited. This league is all about opportunity. And you just need one shot right. And I am very thankful for the Aces and everything I got to learn there, but I'm really excited for this new beginning and to build something from the ground up here with the Valkyries. But that was just the beginning. The real shocker came when Kelsey Plum, the sharpshooter extraordinaire, decided not to sign an extension. Next thing you know, she's been traded to the Los Angeles Sparks in a deal that had fans scratching their heads. Sure, they got Jewel Lloyd in return, but at what cost? Especially since Plum is younger, more efficient, and doesn't demand the ball as heavily as Lloyd. The Seattle Storm are sending Jewel Lloyd to the Las Vegas Aces in a blockbuster 3-team trade that moves Kelsey Plum to the LA Sparks. That's according to ESPN. As part of the deal, Seattle receives the 2nd pick in this year's WNBA draft from LA in exchange for the Storm's number 9 pick, while the Aces also receive the 13th pick, a 2nd-round selection from the Sparks. And let's talk about that bench, the one that was supposed to be the Aces' secret weapon. Well, it's not so secret anymore because it's practically empty. Sydney Colson, A'ja Wilson's bestie, gone to the Indiana Fever. The latest departures for the Las Vegas Aces include 2 heavy hitters off the bench and 2 former 2023 and 2024 Sixth Players of the Year. Tiffany Hayes, she's joining Kate Martin over at the Golden State Valkyries. And Alicia Clark, she's headed back to her old stomping grounds with the Seattle Storm. Let's start with Alicia Clark. According to Ramona Shelburne of ESPN, the Aces wanted to bring back Alicia Clark. But when Seattle came and knocking, Alicia was like, what, I would love to go back to my WNBA home, which is Seattle now. Guys, if y'all don't know, Alicia Clark won 2 titles with the Seattle Storm in 2018 and 2020, and now at 37 years old, she's looking to bring her 3-and-D game back to Seattle. It's like watching a game of musical chairs, except when the music stopped, the Aces were left without a seat. 5 key players lost their entire rotation up in smoke. You've got to wonder what's going on behind the scenes to cause this mass exodus. Then, of course, there is Tiffany Hayes, who, guys, Tiffany Hayes was not even supposed to be in the WNBA last season. She had actually retired in the off-season of 2024. Tiffany Hayes, fresh off winning the 6th Player of the Year award, is jumping ship to join the Valkyries. This isn't just any player leaving. We're talking about someone who averaged 95 points, 28 rebounds, and 21 assists per game last season, and is showing she's still got it whenever she's playing at unrivaled. Hayes was a crucial signing for the Aces when she came out of retirement, and now she's walking away. It's like watching your key player take their ball and go home, except in this case, they're taking their ball to a whole new team. Tiffany Hayes, she hopped on with the Las Vegas Aces midseason for the 2024 season and made a crazy awesome comeback, guys. She was averaging nearly 10 points a game off the bench. She gave the Aces that extra little gut punch that they needed off the bench to give them some more intensity, give them some offensive versatility of sorts. She's one of those players that, like Tiffany Hayes, can get to the basket. Tiffany Hayes, if she has the basketball in her hands, you can kind of do whatever she wants with it, and you're not really gonna be able to stop her like that. And let's not forget about that semifinals loss to the Liberty. It wasn't just a loss, it was a wake-up call. Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young, and Chelsea Gray, the Aces' offensive powerhouses, combined for a measly 28 points. That's not just a bad day, that's a red flag waving in your face, screaming that something's seriously wrong with your strategy. You want numbers? Let's talk numbers. The Aces have lost approximately 40% of their scoring output from last season. That's not a dip. That's a nosedive. It's like watching a high-flying circus act suddenly realize they forgot to put up the safety net. So what's driving this mass exodus? Is it the rumored locker room tensions? The whispers about Wilson's ego getting too big for the Sin City? Or is it something deeper, a rot at the core of what was once the WNBA's model franchise? One thing's for sure, this isn't just a bump in the road for the Aces, this is a full-on crisis. They're not just losing players, they're losing their identity. The dynasty that seemed unshakable just months ago is now looking about as stable as a house of cards in a Vegas windstorm. And how is A'ja Wilson taking all of this based on her social media? She's in tears. You've got to wonder, is this karma coming back to bite them? All that swagger, all that arrogance, all those moments of rubbing their success in everyone's faces. Maybe the basketball gods decided it was time for a little humility lesson. Thanks for watching and subscribe my